The 3030 Report, your news from the West.
Hi, I'm P and welcome to the 3030 Report. This is my co-host Bambi.
Hi guys.
Thanks for joining us on our first ever episode.
First episode, how exciting.
Woo! So we have decided to put this show together to discuss all the hot topics going on in the western suburbs.
Me and P both grew up in the western suburbs, but in separate parts. As adults, we've done a bit of a location swap.
Haha, true. I grew up in Braybrook and now live in Werribee, and Bambi, vice versa.
This has led us to discover the changes in our neighbourhoods. We've even rediscovered some of the wonderful landmarks we each grew up with. So we decided to share our findings, because let's face it, we know West.
There's been many hot topics in the press lately, many involving places around the corner from us. One particular headline that caught my eye was, "Welfare Fraud. Welcome to Werribee, Australia's welfare cheat capital."
Why doesn't that surprise me?
It is said Werribee has been declared the welfare cheat capital of Australia, as the federal government launches a crackdown on so-called dole bludgers in the booming city. Fraud investigators have been sent to Centrelink branches in Werribee and Sunshine, with people whose case files have been flagged for suspicious activity will be investigated. In 2015, the task force identified more than 2,600 people in Werribee who had collected almost 11 million in illegal benefits between them.
That's a lot of money.
It is. Human Service Minister Michael Keenan encourages the public to come forward if they know of someone rorting the system. This brings us to our first topic. Would you dob in a family member or friend for cheating the dole?
Look, I don't know if I'd dob in a friend or family member, but that dodgy guy up the street that likes to put his stuff in my bins, for sure, he's got it coming.
Revenge dobbing!
I'm a petty bitch.
Fair call. Our 3030 Report team took to the streets to ask what your opinions were on dobbing in dole cheats. Let's listen to them now.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't agree with the idea in any way, shape or form. No one is going to dob in a family member or a friend. Might try and advise them or tell them what they think, but realistically it's a way for people that don't like people to be horrible to each other.
It seems this community ask might not go down as well as the officials may have hoped. Have your say. Email the team at the 3030report at gmail.com. After the break, we'll take a further look into the headlines. Human Nature comes to Water Gardens Town Square this Saturday at 10 a.m. Grab a copy of their latest album, Romance of the Jukebox, at JB Hi-Fi and show your receipt to get it signed by the boys this Saturday at Water Gardens Town Square. Welcome back from the break. We have been discussing the latest headlines, and another one that caught our eye is a little more controversial. Last Thursday, a very frightening scene unfolded in Taylor's Hill and is being dubbed the Taylor's Hill Riot. I want to look at some of the footage online and discuss the concerns attached with such an event. All the major media outlets ran the same short footage capturing of the events. Dark and distorted, yet it was clear many young youths were seen running through the streets, fighting and throwing projectiles into the night.
Many residents were frightened at the scenes and were instructed by officials to lock their doors and stay inside. This is crazy. It's hard to believe it's happening in our streets. But I think what's most concerning that these offenders are just kids.
Babies. It's very frightening. But is this a gang problem we are dealing with, or more a bunch of bratty teenagers with nothing to do and no one watching them?
Reports say the incident was to have begun over two boys fighting over a girl over social media, and they planned to meet at Water Gardens shopping centre after a basketball match in the local area. Having been moved along by security and police, The young teens took public transport to a nearby park to continue the beef.
So it seems it becomes one suburb's problem after the next, and no real solution is happening.
Residents were reported saying they heard the teens yelling and shouting, "The police can't touch us," as they ransacked the neighbourhood.
That must have been so terrifying for the families stranded in their homes. Reports suggest these gangs are largely made up of Sudanese youth and are running havoc on our streets. Either way, it's clear these youths aren't intimidated by the police or any consequences they may come from their actions. Do you think it's a clash of culture or just bored teens running amok?
Honestly, bored teens running amok.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's a very scary time whether we have a Sudanese gang culture on the rise or just bored teens. I think it's safe to say something needs to be addressed.
Have you experienced or witnessed any of these alleged gang crimes, or even just have an opinion? Hit us up on our Facebook page or email us at the3030report@gmail.com.
After the break, I have a little game I'd love to play with Bambi.
Ooh.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're with the 3030 Report.
Thanks for joining us. Just before the break, I dropped a little surprise on my co-host Bambi. What we are about to do next, Bambi has no idea about. Our 3030 Report team had a secret meeting and decided on a new segment called
Bambi's Limit.
Bambi's Limits is a game we'll play each week where listeners can write in suggestions and ideas on how we can test Bambi's limits. This week we have a great suggestion from one of our team, and we have called it What's in the Box. So Bambi, here's how it works. I want you to place this blindfold on and describe the following 3 spoonfuls of food I will feed to you. Now, for our listeners at home, Bambi is now wearing some gorgeously pink blindfold, and I have a bucket here at her feet and a bottle of water to reset between rounds. Now, Bambi, are you ready?
Holy shit, what even is happening?
Spoonful number 1. What is it? Ladies and gentlemen, her face is all squished up. She's unsure. What are the flavours you are tasting?
So this one's sweet.
Sweet. What else? What can you taste?
Sweet, and it's smooth,
Smooth.
and it's a bit thick.
Thick. What is the flavour?
I know what it is. This one is Nutella, I think.
Nutella. Ding, 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 ding. She got the first one right.
Hazelnutty goodness. Okay, I was okay with that one.
Okay.
But I'm still scared about what's coming.
Spoonful number 2. I'm placing it in her mouth. It's dripping. It
Ugh.
dripped. This one has got a real sour face reaction. What is this one?
Oh, I don't know. It's like
Ladies and gentlemen, her face is all scrunched up.
it's like honey, but like
Ooh, what is it?
but like less thick.
Less thick than honey. What
But
could it
it's
be?
really, really sweet.
Nice and sweet. She's all sticky faced here. Tongue's going out.
Is it like maple syrup?
It is maple syrup.
I was scared because I'm like, it's sour, but honey is sweet.
Okay, spoonful number 3. Here it goes. Oh, sorry. Hit the teeth that time, ladies. Hit the teeth. Okay, she's got
one?
this in.
Like chunky.
Chunky. Ooh, everyone loves a good chunk.
That has seeds in it.
It has seeds in it. Her face is not enjoying this one. Oh, the mind
like-
does funny things when you don't know.
It's like, I don't know, it's sweet, chunky, and crunchy.
Sweet, chunky, and crunchy. So, Bambi, what is it?
Is it like strawberry or raspberry jam?
Raspberry jam is correct.
I wasn't sure if it was raspberry or strawberry.
She made it through, ladies and
That was all super
gentlemen.
sweet. Happy with that? I was waiting for like something like fishy or horrible.
No, it's week 1. We'll work up to those
God.
things. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any suggestions on how we can test Bambi limits, let us know. Hit us up on our Facebook page or email us at the3030report@gmail.com. That was...
Bambi's limit.
Are you looking for an outrageously offensive and fun night in Footscray to break up the week? Well, starting this Wednesday at Pride of Our Footscray Community Bar, we've got Footscray Adult Bingo, or FAB, will be hosted by the very blue Miss April Latrine and will be full of cheeky fun, prizes, drink specials, as well as dinner specials, including the infamous Dinner for Two with a Dumpling View. Don't miss the big launch this Wednesday, 15th of August. Free to play with an opportunity to buy for more chances to win. Cash prizes to
Too
prize,
much
prize
trash.
packages courtesy of
What?
AK
Where did that
Fantasies
come from?
And drink
We have
prizes
too much
courtesy of
trash.
Pride of Our
Werribee
Footscray.
landfill is set
Book your
for
table
major
now.
expansion.
One of Melbourne's biggest rubbish tips is set for a major expansion after an environmental group's last-ditch legal challenge failed to stop the massive landfill from further growth. The Wyndham City Council has earlier this year warned of an environmental crisis if it was prevented from expanding the area used for landfill, which sits within a 2,012 hectare site between Melbourne and Geelong. The council values the waste disposal facility conservatively at $300 million and expects that within the next decade it will receive 1 million tonnes of rubbish a year. The latest decision to give another 26 years of life to the landfill.
Wow, that's so much rubbish. Who knew we collected that much rubbish over the years? That's crazy, and a lot of Macca's cups. What do you think about the expansion? I mean, it can't be good for the land, surely.
But where else is it going to go?
True, very true. Well, that's the end of our headlines, ladies and gentlemen. After the break, we will give you Bambi's picks.
Thanks for joining us, guys. You're listening to Bambi and P on the 30.
Join Bambi and P on
What did you get up to
3030
this weekend,
Report.
P?
Actually, I took my 2 gorgeous little nieces to Inflatable World in the old Wind City where the old bowling alley used to be in Werribee.
Oh wow, that sounds super fun.
It was super fun. Kids, all ages get to play and adults get to play too.
Oh, I'm going. I want to do
It was such a workout. I almost want to give up my gym membership and just join Inflatable World.
Yes. So that brings me around to what's on this weekend. So this weekend we've got the pre-loved baby and kids market at Sanctuary Lakes Club. 72 Greg Norman Drive, Point Cook. Doors open at 9 and it's only a $3 cover fee.
$3.
Yeah, and it puts you in the running for a door prize as well. Or if that's not your cup of tea, why not this Saturday night hit up the Jam Night at the Youth Resource Centre? 86 Derrimut Road, Hoppers Crossing, and the show starts at 6 with a $2 entry fee.
$2 entry fee for a whole show. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and you get to check out some of Werribee's best upcoming talent.
That sounds amazing. I didn't even realise they had so many things on at the youth centre. Almost every weekend there's something going on.
Yeah, they're a busy crowd down there.
Busy, busy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that leads us to the end of our very first podcast.
Woohoo, we did it.
Thank you for joining us. We are P and
Bambi.
and this is the 3030 Report.